It's a brand new Shimano 105 Di2 group set pointless. I mean, here's a group set that many people have been waiting a long time for, but now it's here, and well, the disappointment has been real and it's been very loud. Now, when I rode it recently, I was very impressed, as you might expect, and you can see that video linked up above and down below. But when I did a comparison test with SRAM rival, well, we got a sound of beating, and you see that comparison shootout linked down below as well. So, overpriced and heavy, has Shimano dropped the ball and made a real clanger with a group set that should have been a slam dunk success? Maybe the problem here is actually not the group set, but the name. Calling it 105 was a mistake here. 105, as we all know, has long been a popular group set with people on a budget, but you get all the performance, generally, of Dura-Ace and Ultegra, but at a fraction of the price. So it's no wonder it's become the people's group set. But you can't expect a third tier Di2 electronic group set to be cheap. Current Ultegra 12 speed is retailing for £2,400, so 105 Di2 at £1,700 is £700 cheaper, which is a big chunk of cash and provides a decent difference between the two group sets. We all know electronic group sets are hugely popular, and despite the retro grouches saying they're a sin on a road bike, we're seeing more and more people choose bikes with electronic group sets. So Shimano has been forced into offering a lower price option, especially when SRAM did the same with rival a year ago. Could the group set have been cheaper? Probably, most likely. Without the pandemic and supply issues, I'm sure the price would have been lower, and SRAM has shown that it's possible with its rival ETAC group set. But Shimano have their reasons for the pricing, reasons they won't share with us. And of course, they're not going to give the group set away, are they? They're in the business for making money. So I think calling this new Di2 group set 105 was a big mistake here, because of that association of 105 with affordable and value for money and all those other sort of words. 105 Di2 is clearly not affordable for lots and lots of people, and calling it something different would have got away from that association with 105 and value for money and a people's group set. Calling it something different, a new name to slot in between Ultegra and 105 would have given a clear difference. Kept 105 as a people's group set, a mechanical only, really affordable option, and then offering a third tier, more affordable Di2 group set below Dura-Ace and Ultegra at quite a decent chunk cheaper than Ultegra as well, would have made that group set more successful in my mind, and avoid that association we have now with 105, which has always been a fairly cheap, especially when it's discounted as it has been in the past, group set offering, and probably done better in terms of reaction to that new group set than it's had by calling it 105, which has been fairly bad. It's been fairly slated in the comments on all my videos on 105 over the last few weeks. It really shocked me, to be honest, at the reaction. But when you see the price and you realise that association people make with 105 and value for money, then you start to see why. And by calling it 105 Di2 has clearly caused a lot of outrage and upset lots of people. And while in the long term I don't think it will impact sales, it will definitely tarnish the launch and the reaction and reception the group set has had over the last few weeks and going forward. Now, to be honest, it's way too early to call this a blunder from Shimano. I'm sure in years to come, we'll look back on this as a very small blip if we actually remember it in the first place. But there have been quite a few blunders from Shimano in the past, less so in recent years, but looking back through their catalogue, there have been some quite bad, spectacular almost misses. So here's a few to remind you to jog your memory cells. And the most recent one, and the one that's getting lots of people upset, is Shimano taking away support for the Hammerhead Karoo 2 GPS computer from those optional shifter buttons in the top of Di2 hoods on Ultegra and Dura-Ace, not available on 105 level, of course, that isn't available. Because Hammerhead has been bought by SRAM, and SRAM is a rival to Shimano, Shimano have reacted by taking away support for Hammerhead, which seems a bit petty really, and hopefully we might see a U-turn in the future. But for now, it's definitely upsetting a lot of people and definitely a bit of a blunder on Shimano's front. A few other ones include mountain bike Di2 never really catch on despite their best efforts, and despite the success that SRAM is having with their Axis Eagle offerings on the mountain bike side. There are, of course, the Holotech cranks failing that Shimano has refused to comment on over the years, but apparently addressed in its latest group set. Many years ago, hydraulic shifting called air lines on the mountain bike side never really caught on. Biopace non-round chainrings on the road bikes never caught on either. And the biggest one I remember personally were the dual control flappy paddle mountain bike shifters, trying to bring road bike integrated shifters to mountain bikes, and also doing rapid rise reverse shifting, which were too many things to get my brain around and never caught on. And thankfully they realized the error of the ways and scrapped that very quickly. So it's not like Shimano doesn't have a track record of blunders, of tech fails, and whether 105 Di2 joins that list remains to be seen. Probably not. I'm sure in the long term it'll go on to be a successful group set, prices will come down and people will forget the impact it's had over the last few weeks. Now, if you want to see a comparison of the new 105 Di2 group set with SRAM rather ETAP axis, then check out the video right here.